As the avionics power up here inside the cockpit of 904 Bravo Charlie, we're going to prepare for our quick VFR flight over to the Catalina Island area from Long Beach Airport. Now, as the aircraft is brought onto the center line, we're getting ready for takeoff, finishing up the checklist, and as the runway items are complete, we'll apply full power smoothly and evenly to both engines. And with 375 horsepower per side, it's a lot of power on this airframe. The aircraft accelerates very quickly. As we approach rotation speed, off the ground, and the flight begins. And now as we're climbing out, we'll pull the power back to 35 inches manifold pressure per the RAM STC. That's up from 32.5 inches from the factory standard GT SIO 520 engines. Also pull the props back to 1900 RPM. The geared engines, the cabin quiets down, and we can enjoy the flight. For this quick flight today, we're only going up to 2,500 feet MSL. Use the typical cruise settings of 32 inches and 1700 RPM. You can notice the autopilot is currently coupled on a nav mode and altitude hold, flying a GPS course and holding 2,500 feet. Now as we move back to the main cabin of the aircraft, you'll notice the aircraft is currently configured with the rear two seats removed. Both seats can easily be installed and are included with the aircraft, but just shows the flexibility of this cabin. Now back to the cockpit, just to show the main features of the Sandell electronic HSI. A multi-function display built in to show airspace, routing, single course deviation indicator, whatever you'd like. Now focusing on the Avidyne EX500 multi-function display, you can see we have installed on the aircraft the King RDR 160 color radar, which is interfaced with the multi-function display. Here currently showing the test mode. Now to focus on an instrument that's just below the vertical speed indicator. It's the Sandell ST3400 RMI and terrain awareness warning system. You can see as we zoom in here, it's showing us some terrain at the green. We're going to press a button here that's going to turn it into predicted terrain. So as we turn the autopilot into a descent, it's going to predict the terrain ahead of us and show us if there's any terrain in our descent path predicted. And you'll see the instrument turns green and then some red to show we have terrain ahead. Focus back in again on the Avidyne EX500 multi-function display. As we zoom in here, we're going to be pulling up the METAR, the weather at Long Beach. This is a function of the Sirius weather subscription, satellite weather data link connected to the MFD. As we scroll through, you can pull up METARs, terminal area forecasts, the winds, legend there as well. Another function of the Avidyne MFD is the ability to display electronic charts. We're going to scroll through a few menus here and get to first the airport diagram at Long Beach, and then from that we will select the runway 30 RNAV Zulu GPS approach in Long Beach. Now to focus on the installed autopilot in 904 Bravo Charlie. It's a Bendix King KFC 225 automatic flight control system with flight director. It's a full 3-axis autopilot with yaw damper. Right now we have it coupled to a GPS approach, the GPS 30 into Long Beach, and flying the path as we see it right here. As we get further along here with our GPS approach into the Long Beach airport, we're going to be making a turn, and hands-free flying here. The autopilot takes care of the GPS steering. The Sandell electronic HSI automatically turns to our inbound course, and the airplane flies the course as it should without any intervention from the pilot. Further along here in our GPS approach, we're approaching the GPS glide path from the WAS approach here into Long Beach. Intercept the glide path, and you can see the autopilot has captured the glide slope / glide path. Is now descending on it. Also still following the lateral course as well. Fully coupled WAS approach into Long Beach. And now continuing our approach, getting closer to the runway environment. We have the aircraft still fully coupled with the autopilot, capturing the glide path as well as the steering for the lateral guidance. Truly hands-free flying. For demonstration purposes, we're going to keep the autopilot engaged, and we'll keep it engaged all the way down into the decision altitude that was popped off right there, and the flaps are going full, and now ready for landing.